Blog Talk Radio.
Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. It's summer party. Grown and sexy, join the party. Put summer party. Party crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed.
Welcome to the Pajama Party, another Friday night at the Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD, here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir.
All right.
Woo.
It's Friday night, and we are ready to kick it off with
That's right.
all the goings-ons.
Mm-hmm.
So much happening.
Yeah, it's a lot
is.
going on.
It's been a busy news week, hasn't it?
It sure has. And we got plenty to talk about tonight, or argue about one.
Probably a little bit of both.
Probably so. Y'all ready for the snow?
Oh, my goodness. That's what they say. They said all up and down from Texas to Maine.
It's snowing in Texas already. Mm-hmm. Yep, they need some snow over there where those wildfires are, for real. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would help. At least some rain.
Yeah. Well, we'll get into that story later.
Okay. Well, let's get into the rundown. What do you have for us tonight, Kel?
And we got a lot going on, so sit back and put your seatbelts on. All right. Our hot topics tonight, we got pranking quits amid sexual misconduct allegations. Ex-cop Michael Slager sentenced for shooting death of Walter Scott. Also, California fires continue to rage. Our hit it and quit it headline: Saudi prince buys expensive art. A recount called for Atlanta mayoral race. The impact of John Conyers' resignation. Gymnastics doctor sentence. How ethical are congressional ethics? And who's playing ball with the Ball brothers? Really? Okay. What's popping with Poppa DD? Heisman Trophy. Our weird news. Fat squirrel steals pricey goods. Also, Chinese zoo has weird penguin exhibit. And an airplane makes a pit stop. For real, literally. I'm just saying with Redwine, why you mad? Fix your face. Living for the City with Poppa DD. Got a surprise for us tonight. My Hollywood wrap-up, I'm going to talk about Steve Harvey, J.K. Rowling, Steven Tyler, the highest-paid musicians, Tracy Ellis Ross and Bonnie and Clyde. Our cocktail of the week, I got a surprise for you guys. Our kiss it list and the last word. Sit back, relax, get your favorite cocktail, and we'll be back with the hot topics.
It's another Friday night at the Pajama Party Show, and we're here with our PJs on because you know we don't allow clothes in here. If you enjoyed the Pajama Party Show, why not invite a friend or tell a neighbor to tune in right now? Go ahead and text them. I'll wait. Tell them to call us right now at 914-803-4306. And if they want to join in on the conversation, tell them to press 1 so that we'll know they have something to say. We'd love to meet your neighbors, friends, and relatives, so send them a text, email them, or call them up and tell them to join us for the Pajama Party live on Blog Talk Radio. The more the merrier. Or is it Misery Loves Company, or whichever. Tell them to call us up on 914-803-4306 if they just want to listen, or press 1 if you want to join the conversation. Now let's get back to the crew and more of the Pajama Party Show while I try to find out who hid the belt from my robe. I tell you the truth. Y'all know you're so wrong for that.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
bonsoir, darling, and everybody.
Oh, Lord.
Je suis Ben Rouge.
Oh, boy. Then the France again, huh?
Je t'aime bien. Oui,
yeah,
oui.
she from the French.
Oui, oui, mademoiselle.
French guys all up in it.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get into, speaking of hot, let's get into the hot topic. Let's see, Ketel, you got the first one, so go ahead and kick it off.
Yeah, I think this is the hottest one going on all week here. We got some more coming up, too. Unfortunately, Minnesota Senator Al Franken announced this Thursday he will resign from Congress in the coming weeks for sexual misconduct allegations and the collapse of support from his Democratic colleagues. Really, a swift political fall for a once rising Democrat star. He said, I may be resigning my seat, but I'm not giving up my voice. I heard that. Franken, 66, quit just a day after a new allegation brought the number of women alleging misconduct by him to at least 8. Wow. One woman said he forcibly tried to kiss her in 2006. Also, another woman said Franken inappropriately squeezed, quote-unquote, a handful of flesh on her waist while posing for a photo in 2009. He says, I know in my heart that nothing I have done as a senator, nothing has brought dishonor on this institution. So Franken is the latest to fall in the national wave of the sexual harassment allegations. You know, we got men in Hollywood, the media, and quite a few on the Hill. So also Democratic Republican John Conyers, which he was the longest serving member of the House, and Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton. No, I'm sorry. He's a replacement. It's another gentleman. Oh, Trent Franks. He's resigning for allegations also. He talked to some coworkers or some subordinates saying that he wanted them to carry his baby, surrogate baby, and he was going to pay them $5 million to carry his child. I'm like, are you serious? So these 3 men, they are gone. Trent Franks, he resigned today. The oldest longing senator, he resigned last week, and Franken, he resigned Thursday. So is this setting a precedent on the Hill, or what's going on? What you guys think?
Well, I tell you, I don't know. I got mixed emotions about the whole thing myself. You know, I just think when somebody come from the past and say something about you, you know, that really should be between you and that person in some respect. If you didn't run them up the river during that time frame, then for you to try to come back later on, I mean, there's some justification in it. And me not being a female, I really can't elaborate on what people go through, you know. But when you pop up, you know, 15, 20 years later, following suit on people like that, I mean, you got to use your own initiative. You know, I mean, you got to really, if it's something you want to do, you got to do it at that time frame. If civil rights people didn't march and do the things they did back in the, you know, I mean, civil rights been going on forever, but if people of the 60s didn't stand up like they believed in, then people in the 90s and 2000s weren't able to live like they are now. I mean, you got people that fought for civil rights years ago, and you got black bosses that are still assholes today. So, you know, sometimes the struggle of people never really resulted in stuff anyway. You know, you still got ladies out there falling for the okie doke, and then you got some ladies out there creating the okie doke. I mean, I got some ladies on my job that manipulate the system that be pissing me off because they go walking around shaking their fat ass trying to get stuff based on the booty or whatever else they think they got going on. So it has a lot of different narratives. And like I said, I'm not downplaying the situation, don't get me wrong, not at all. But I'm saying in like any other situation, and I'm just being a devil's advocate with this, you know, you got ladies out there that are still out there on the job, getting over, and they only have to be sleeping with the boss. They can just be an agitating situation because the boss is weak and falling for the okie doke when he don't realize the big booties come a dime a dozen. But anyway, she got.
Well, I think, as far as I'm concerned, all of these nasty, twisted perverts can get out of there. I say let them all resign. They need to go ahead and do the ethics, investigation. And I think at the rate they're going, if they really investigate all of those folks that are on Capitol Hill now, you'll probably end up with half the Congress gone. Because they had a lot of mess with them, and it's not all about sexual allegations. You got people who have misused funds. Remember the guy who had done his office to look like Downton Abbey?
Yeah, no doubt.
He was using for money.
Something scratching. Can you hear it scratching?
Yeah, I hear it.
It's scratching.
So, when I look at all of that, it's I'm going to talk about that in another story, talking about how ethical is all the ethics investigations and all of that. We keep hearing that word ethics. But my question is, where are the ethics? They talk about the president supposed to be the moral compass. You got to be kidding me. I don't know who made that statement, but to me, the president should never be considered the moral compass of anything. Your morality needs to start at home. I would not look to any government official to help guide me on a path of morality. To me, that's crazy. So, like I said, all of those folks that been getting busted, from Weinstein all the way down to the Capitol Hill, good riddance. Bye-bye. That's the way I look at it. I'm sorry, my heart is not bleeding for them. These people have made millions of dollars, supposedly, allegedly serving us. And they aren't serving us, they're serving themselves. So, bye, boy.
You said bye, boy. Okay.
That's how I see it. I say get them all out of there, clean house.
Yeah, financially, they really have no problem leaving because, one guy was offering women $5 million to be the surrogate of his child.
Yeah, that's that guy. What's his name, Ketel? Frank Trent, I think.
And his name has France to it in some respect.
Trent, what is it again, Ketel?
Trent Frank.
I had it backwards. Yeah, I mean, who does that?
So
if you want to find a surrogate, find one somewhere outside of the office.
Yeah, why would you more or less kind of quote-unquote crap where you work? That doesn't make any sense. That's just stupid. And then you coming on to these girls, I would feel uncomfortable too. I'd be like, okay, I got to go. But back to the first story, Franken, I think they just railroading Franken. Because from my knowledge, I thought most of these allegations happened before he became senator. He's a pretty good senator. So, I just think they railroading Al Franken. But the truth is gonna come to the light. We'll see.
Well, all I know is the old folks used to say, if you give somebody enough rope, they'll hang themselves.
And some of these women, that's what's gonna happen.
And one more thing I would like to say on the subject is the fact that, I think in today's world today, like let he without sin cast the first stone. And you really can't be so hard in your accusations toward people when you can have dirt in your own closet. And some people are talking so. I've seen a group of ladies on the congressional level. They were all in a news conference, all five of them, and they're the one in the middle. She's talking all strong, and who knows? She could have been an asshole her whole life, and a man may not have wanted to touch that ass. You know what I mean? So who's to say that she's not? She's probably just letting out bitterness because she never had her proper share of Johnson in her life. You know what I mean? So therefore, she's just like depressed and all mixed up, and she gonna just put this. You know what I mean? There's just some mixed up people out there. Period. And like I said, there again, I'm not downplaying anything, but there's sick people on both sides of the scale. You know what I mean? You got ladies out here now that are untouchable. You got who's the untouchables now? Halle Berry. Nobody want to fuck with that anymore. Let me see. I mean, you got people out there. Who else is? Y'all know of like 5 nice looking ladies that.
Kind of J-Lo, but that's my girl. I like J-Lo. So.
Yeah, but J-Lo, you know.
Yeah, but she got some issues too.
Yeah, and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift's another one. Look at that crazy ass. Taylor Swift bought a house right across the street from the Kennedy boy. Right across the lake from the Kennedy boy. Who's that?
Oh, yeah, she sure did. Gomez girl.
Yeah, Gomez was tripping at first. She was on Taylor Swift's team, and she was and she hated the bees. Then all of a sudden Gomez came to her senses and she dropped The Weeknd, got back with the beat. Oh, please.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Justin Bieber finally started acting like he had some sense.
Yeah, but she was going with The Weeknd. So what she did, just drop The Weeknd like it was, I mean,
I don't know.
Like I said, everybody out there swinging dick, swinging vagina. You know, I mean, I'm just saying. It's
all I can tell you.
It's just a mess. You know what I mean? If, like I said, if somebody got some perverse stuff going on, and what gets me too, if you're a millionaire and you can't get no pussy, what the hell? This is what I'm trying to figure out. You a millionaire and you
on you, Papa.
Yeah, but I'm just being myself. I'm not. This ain't no church service. This is an adult talk show. Okay, so if you can't handle adult language, and you really need to hang up. All right, because the church service thing is on Sunday morning. We doing the adult Friday night pajama party tonight. So anyway.
Well, as far as the women who are accusing various people, I do think that it does take a certain amount of strength to come up and say, yes, this is what happened, and release the details of it. Because, some people don't understand, like, well, why did it take so long? I keep hearing that question. And I think people don't understand that when you're trying to hold on to your job or you're working your way up the corporate ladder, what you don't want to do is end up blacklisted, blackballed, or whatever else they want to call it, so that you become an untouchable. Where people say, no, you don't want her in your department. She's a troublemaker. She creates issues. She can't, people can't work with her. She complains about everything. And once you get labeled like that, it's hard to get from under that label. And a lot of women just said, you know what, I'm just going to deal with it on my own. I'll figure out a way to keep this person away from me or try to not end up in the room with this person by myself. You just try to find ways to avoid the situation so that you're not in that uncomfortable spot. And it's a shame when you have to do that. You go to work thinking, all right, how can I duck him today? I got to go in his office for something. Let me grab somebody and come up with a reason to bring somebody in there with me. You do all that kind of stuff because you're trying to hold on to that job.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, but I just think in the scheme of the long-term situations of life, when God has bestowed life on you, this is the life that you are meant to live in this world, and you can take it down to a lower level. I was in an office with some people of a Caucasian persuasion. They kept the air conditioner on all the time, and this was in the damn winter time. I come in the office, and I was like, I wouldn't say they didn't want to start no trouble or anything. I'm wearing like a, sweater. I'm wearing long johns anyway, but I'm wearing a sweater and a jacket. But then one night I came in there and said, yo, you know what, F this. Yo, it's 30 degrees outside. Y'all need to cut that air conditioner off. At some point, you got to step up on the environment because now you are culturally taking my space. You are invading my space. I want a comfortable environment when I come to work. I come to work to make a living. Now, these jokers come to work and they're wearing all this here, whatever they're wearing. Half of them are fat and overweight, so they probably sit in bed like a polar bear. Just, it doesn't matter about the, what I'm saying?
But in that instance, though, the difference is, do you feel like your job is going to be threatened if you say,
when
hey,
you speak up on anything in the job market, it could separate you as far as, and it depends on the environment you're in, because sometimes you may have, let me make my point. Sometimes you may be in a job where you can speak your mind in the environment you're in two different reasons. I worked in a New York environment where it was people had more camaraderie because they had more in common. But then I worked in a D.C. environment where them Mid-Atlantic people were assholes, where they didn't even understand the aspect of camaraderie. So when I'm down in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, and New York area, I find that the same homestead-type people with the same disposition of life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness is there. But then when I go up in another area where there's a cultural difference like the DMV, Maryland, Virginia, and D.C., where them people are more, this is my opinion. They're, Mercedes-Benz driving,
and I'm still saying, but that doesn't sound like something that makes you feel threatened. Well, it's a matter of saying yes.
Well, I'm not taking as deep as you are on the sexual aspect of it.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand the comparison.
I'm just speaking on the whole culture aspect of who you are and what you need for your own deliverance.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying there's a difference in the physical environment and your emotional environment. When you leave work and you're upset because of environmental things, that's something that you can probably deal with and handle in a way where people don't fall out over it.
Yeah, but
when you have emotional stuff going on where somebody has a habit of being too familiar with you, people walk up and lay their hand on your shoulder in a certain kind of way, and if you say something, you look paranoid and crazy because then they say, what? I accidentally touched your shoulder and she freaked out. But you know good and well, no, that wasn't an accident because you do it all the time. But now I finally say something about it, and you want to label me as the crazy woman.
Right, but...
So I'm saying that's not about, that's an emotional kind of thing.
But
that's not about the environment of the air, the heat, or whatever.
We'll close out on this here. But if I come in the office comfortably dressed with 34 degrees outside, and there's 2 or 3 people come in my office and they throw that air conditioner at 60 degrees every time they walk in that door, and I'm in there freezing my ass off, I'm also being belittled, I'm being mistreated, I'm being disrespected based on the temperature of my body. I didn't wear that. I wore my cool stuff, my laid-back clothes, my nice-looking stuff that's decent.
I'm just saying.
But I'm not putting it on the sexual level, like I said, but it's still causing discomfort in my environment.
I said it's an environmental discomfort.
All right, anyway. If you got any questions on the subject,
keep it moving.
Yeah, we're going to keep it moving. That's Ketel. She's our facilitator. Anyway, you got any questions on the subject, 914-803-4306. If you're already listening via phone, just press the 1 on your phone. You'll be put into the queue to speak your mind on the subject.
Call us tonight.
But we're going to
call us tonight and say, hey, Redwine, you're right.
Yeah, she needs gratification. She needs gratification.
Oh, Poppa DD needs to calm down. Woo-wee.
Yeah. Oh, I need to calm down?
Yeah, call
I'm going to always be me. You're never going to calm me down. I'm sorry.
Oh,
anyway, let's move on.
I never calm down.
Calm down. You kidding me? Black man in America, calm down? Please, honey. Y'all must be tripping. Anyway, ex-cop, what's his name? Michael Slager. He was sentenced for shooting Mr. Walter Scott to death. This was a situation in South Carolina. Former South Carolina police officer Michael Slager was sentenced today to 20 years in prison for deadly shooting an unarmed black man, Walter Scott. All right, the U.S. District Judge David Norton ruled that Slager committed second-degree murder and obstruction of justice when he shot and killed 50-year-old Scott in the back, which was unbelievable. The second-degree murder rule came with a recommendation that the sentence comes with a recommendation of 19 to 24 years sentence. Now, as you know, with sentence guidelines and things of this nature, when somebody's sentenced to 20 years, there's a good behavior aspect and all this other stuff. So, who knows? This man may see, 12, 13 years.
He should have gotten more than 20.
All right. So, but at one point during the sentencing, Scott's mother looked the former officer in the eye and told him that she forgave him. So, that was a very nice thing for her to do. The family on both sides of the court burst into tears. One of Scott's brothers, Rodney Scott, told the court that the death of his brother was the worst day of his life. Seeing his brother getting shot over and over on video and things like that. People couldn't understand how it feels to see a family member being shot down on the news every night, night after night after night. There was no censors involved, and nobody didn't freeze a frame or whatever. They just shot him and watched him getting shot, watched him fall to the ground, and they ran it over like it was a sport, so to speak. So, but thank goodness the gentleman was, got some jail time out of it. Finally, the family's able to have some type of closure in that situation.
Yeah.
So God bless the Scott family, and hopefully they can get yourself back in some type of perspective.
Well, can I say something politically incorrect?
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here we go. Ketel, you can tell me to calm down, but I'm not. I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired of good Christian folks always having to be so forgiving when these kind of situations happen. I know it's the right thing to do, to say you forgive people, but I'm getting tired of it. I just feel like, and I'm not saying they should just stay mad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're going to forgive them, which you could, forgive them in your heart. But this having to make these press statements about, oh, we forgive him, we're going to forgive him, I'm tired of hearing it. I know it needs to be done. I'm just saying I'm tired of hearing it. I think people need to feel the remorse and the guilt for what they've done. I just feel like when you tell somebody, when you get that verbal, I forgive you, it kind of alleviates the guilt. And I just feel like when you murder, like in this case, he killed that brother in cold blood, shot him in the back. Why alleviate the guilt? I'm just saying, forgive him in your own place, in your own private area. Stop doing these press talking about how everybody's forgiving somebody. That's just my opinion. So, that may not be the right thing, but that's how I feel about it.
But you got to stay on that, Ketel. You're playing it kind of safe tonight, Ketel. What's up with you?
Yeah,
it's take off that Zebra referee shirt and speak up. What you got on? Black and white straight?
No,
yeah, I mean, what you saying? Am I
wrong? What you saying? You told me,
Am I wrong?
Yeah, Poppa DD is freaking out. Now Redwine's freaking out. What you got to say? Come on, what
my
you
mom always say, sometimes black folks have to stop praying and start doing some, protesting or whatever they got to do. And
well,
go ahead.
As black folks, we were raised with a very, very keen, very manneristic, very polite disposition. Our parents just taught us nothing but goodness, and that's what we were. And the sad part about it, that the stigma of our race has always dipped our kindness in the pool and held our heads down.
They're taking our kindness for weakness.
Always. It's in the job market. It's everywhere. But it's revealing itself. And I'm gonna talk later in my segment, Living for the City. I'm gonna get deep on what's happening with that whole thing, because see, trouble don't last always. And the fact that now things are starting to come full circle, and life is becoming what it is, and the merging of life is becoming to a degree of life on a whole or as a whole, that people begin to understand that there's no difference in people, especially when you get into the medical aspect of stuff, whether it be cancer or anything else in life that people may have or achieve that has very non-discriminative, when we get into a health situation. So people are finally realizing that. But anyway, we'll get deep with that.
I'm just saying, when he called out each of those family members' names and apologized to each one individually, I would have just looked at him. And when he finished, just say thank you and keep it moving. I'm not going to absolve you of the crap you did. You need to continually think about what you did. So, like I said, hey, right or wrong, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
If somebody blows away somebody in my family, yes, I will forgive you, only because I believe in the Bible. The Bible says I should forgive you, but I'm not going to tell you I forgave you.
Red wine.
And that's just how I'm rolling with it.
What's that you drinking?
Some cucumber vodka.
That's that cucumber vodka.
I'm just saying.
Go, girl. Lord,
I forgive you, but I'm not going to tell you I forgave your monkey behind. Kill somebody in my family. I'm going to stare you down and just say, yeah, okay.
Used to be so nice, wasn't it, Ketel? Red wine used to be so nice. He's so nice.
Whatever.
But if you guys want to go up against red wine, here's up tonight, 914-803-4306.
I ain't scared of you. Oh, anyway.
And press 1. We got one more last hot topic. What we got there?
Yeah, the California fires. This has been crazy. Have you all been watching this during the week?
Yes.
My heart goes out to everybody who's out there around the Los Angeles area. I saw the videos of this off and on during the week, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. This stuff looked like something from a disaster movie. People riding down the 405 highway, flames just jumping all in the hills and stuff. The 405 was shut down at some point during the week. It has been insane. And right now you've got about 6 different wildfires that are burning in different areas. And so far they've burned up about 160,000 acres. That's a lot of land.
Yeah.
It sure is.
They've got about 5,000. They still haven't said. There's speculation that it might have been accidental, could have been arson. This could have just been a cigarette butt somebody dropped. Who knows? They haven't really figured it out yet. They've been too busy fighting it to try to figure out what caused it. But they've got 5,700 firefighters trying to contain the fire, and they've got about 190,000 people that have been. We're getting some noise. 190,000 people who have lost their homes or either had to evacuate one way or the other. 20,000 people in northern San Diego that have lost power. The governor has called for emergency proclamation. 45 has now declared an emergency. And you got 6 different fires burning in different areas. Now you got the Thomas Fire, which is the largest one that scorched 132,000 acres. That's the one that started Monday in Ventura County. And right now they're saying it's about 10% contained, and that's burned up about 73 residents. And that one has spread now into Santa Barbara County. Then the second one you got is the Creek Fire, second largest one. This is the one right around Los Angeles County that's burned up 15,323 homes, 20% contained. Then you've got the Rye Fire that broke out Tuesday in Los Angeles County, burned up 6,000 acres, 35% contained. We've got the Lilac Fire, which is the fastest moving, I guess because of the winds. That one has consumed 4,100 acres, and that's in San Diego County. Then there's the Skirball Fire, which started Wednesday as a brush fire in Los Angeles County. That was 30% contained. And then the last one is the Liberty Fire, which is in Riverside County, that has burned 300 acres since that started on Thursday. And that one's only 5% contained. So they're like fighting this stuff round the clock. I guess they're bringing in firefighters at this point from other areas to try to battle it, but I don't know how they're going to contain it. So I would say for everybody who believes in prayer, pray for rain for California because they need it.
Yeah, either rain or snow. They need that snow on that end. Yeah.
Well, I doubt it's going to snow in the L.A. area, but they haven't had any rain for a while, which is why these fires are moving the way they are because everything is dry. So once something ignites and then the wind blows, it just whoosh, the next thing goes up. And then the wind blows and everything's dry and it's just a cycle. So I wonder what happens now that the president and the governor have this state of emergency declared. Does that mean now when it's a state of emergency, doesn't that mean they get federal funds to help out?
Well, I imagine it does, but it seems like at this point now they're going to have to try to run some different areas, different pumps from rivers and oceans and everything, so there can be a continuous water base, because this stuff is getting so out of hand that there has to be some type of continuous water flowing. So they got their hands full. Something. They really got their hands full. God bless them. And these are exclusive neighborhoods too, Bel Air and all these places.
Oh, yeah.
And these are things that are bringing, like we said earlier, that are bringing people into reality, the fact that, life's tragedies and life situations, money has nothing to do with it in the long run.
I was just about to say that. This just goes to show once again, that nature will trump dollars every time.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because all those nice homes up in Bel Air and other exclusive communities, it didn't even matter. Once that fire moved up that way, those firefighters were trying their best, and some of those homes burnt down to nothing.
Yeah, it's very sad.
It's very sad. So our hearts go out to everybody who's in the range of the fire. I mean, the air quality now is becoming an issue because of the smoke. People in certain areas are wearing masks to help with the breathing and all. It's becoming really bad. Ashes, it's starting to be almost like in a volcano area where you have ashes falling and blowing all over the place.
California's air quality was a mess from the beginning.
Yeah.
So, not to mention.
I wonder what is the average price of the homes there? You said they were expensive areas.
I don't know. I mean, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You've got people that had multi-million-dollar homes up in Bel Air, and then you had other areas where the houses may not have been that expensive, but that's still people's keepsakes. Everything they had was in those houses.
Right. My thing is, if you're spending millions on
the animals?
The horses I saw, they said about 25 horses did die. But they got majority of the horses out. But you know what? If they have these fires on a regular like this, my thing is, if you're spending that amount of money for a home, why not build some type of sprinkler system? You know what I'm saying? Something that can shield that home or something, or just keep that fire away from your home. I don't know. They just want to think of some other ways, like Poppa DD said, to get that water supply. Something, some type of water system.
It seems like the sprinkler system would have to be like outside and airborne, or something. There's no way you can. I mean,
because even an internal sprinkler can't beat fire from outside.
Nature is just a beast. It really is. The real aspect of life is a beast, and there's really nothing we can do cosmetically or just man-madely to really combat the things when it comes to brush and oxygen and material, the ingredients that create fire. When the accumulacy is high, and you keep getting oxygen, you keep getting timber, and you keep getting dry air, and you keep getting wind, there's really nothing you could do because you have all the contributing factors that it takes to make it happen. Just like when you do your barbecue, when you in the backyard, once you start burning them charcoal, it seems like the charcoal has the best light when you're about to go in at night. You're about to go in for the night.
Yeah, because it's been
you look
burning
at the
all
barbecue pit.
day.
The barbecue pit is like red hot at 10 o'clock at night. You say, damn, where was this red hot fire at 2 o'clock this afternoon when I needed it?
And see, when they get white hot, that's when you got real good heat.
Yeah, so
anyway.
God bless you.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and run through the Hit It and Quit It headlines. And you're listening to a Pajama Party show on Blog Talk Radio.
This is the Pajama Party coming to you live. What's on your mind? Call us on 914-803-4306. Got an opinion or just want to say hello to the crew? Hello! You know what to do. Call 914-803-4306. If you just want to listen to the show online, go to www.apajamaparty.com and click the banner in the upper right corner. But if you want to talk to the crew, you need to call us on 914-803-4306 and press 1. We'll get to your call as soon as possible. It's nothing but fun and a pillow fight every Friday night at the Pajama Party. And remember, PJs only, no clothes allowed. Now back to the crew and more of the Pajama Party. Bartender, another round for the house. Thank you, darling.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
And Redwine.
Bonsoir.
Hello.
All right. We're going to move on into the Hit It and Quit It headlines. And, Ketel, you got the first story. What you got for us tonight?
Well, you guys might hold on to your seats on this one.
What you got?
A Saudi prince spent $450.3 million on a Leonardo da Vinci portrait of Jesus Christ at a New York auction. It will be exhibited at the new branch of the Louvre in Abu Dhabi. Da Vinci's Salvator Mundi became the most expensive painting ever sold. It was purchased by Prince Badr bin Abdullah Muhammad. As you see, he's the prince. It goes on to say, the Times said Badr is a friend and associate of Saudi Arabian's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who last month launched an alleged corruption crackdown that has led to the detention of several princes. So the Saudi government has said it is seeking the return of $100 billion in ill-gotten wealth. But Badr's purchase of the Christ portrait could potentially upset conservative clerics in the Muslim community. So it also goes on to say the highest price ever paid for a work of art at an auction had been $179.4 million. But this one here that the Arabian Prince purchased $450 million. Sounds like he's trying to upset some folks.
That's a lot of money for a picture.
If you got it, you got it like that. Mm-hmm. So it sounds like they doing some corruption over there. But I guess we had to follow that story. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the painting?
I saw it. It kind of looked like the male version of the Mona Lisa to me.
That's what I thought. I mean, I'm like, is this an ugly portrait or what? What's going on? I mean, hey, you can't, you can't argue with art, I guess.
I mean, it's all subjective. I looked at it and thought, man, I wouldn't have paid $45 for it, but he paid how much? $45 million? Okay.
$450 million.
Okay, whatever floats your boat.
That's what I say. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right.
We're going to quit that one and hit the next one. You're up, Poppa DD. What you got for us?
Wow. We got let's talk about that mayoral race that went on in Atlanta. That was interesting because the talk around that was so interesting. How people were saying, they didn't want this one here to win and yada, yada, yada. I wasn't saying it so many words. I listened to a gentleman in the morning on Sirius XM, Joe Madison, and the lady was explaining the whole Atlanta situation. It was a racial thing, between black woman, white woman. The white woman was running as an independent. I guess she didn't want to wear that Republican tag. And then you had the Democratic, the black woman. Well, let me put names out instead of colors and all that jazz. Her name was Mary Norwood. Okay, she's calling for a recount after the results of the mayoral race in Atlanta, and she went up against a young lady named Keisha Lance. Right? All right. But Keisha Lance Bottoms. All right. Now Keisha had already celebrated victory, but Norwood cited an unofficial count. I mean, she only won by 700 votes, which goes to show you the importance of voting, okay? Mm-hmm. All right. She cited an unofficial count in remarks before her supporters and said that while she was trailing her runoff opponent, she was waiting for further updates on the vote total later in the week. So anyway, early Wednesday, April Majors, a spokeswoman for Fulton County, where most of the city is located, told CNN a recount would happen and was tentatively scheduled for Saturday. But late Wednesday morning, candidate Boyce, a spokeswoman for the Georgia Secretary of State's office, told CNN the results haven't been yet certified by either Fulton or DeKalb counties, and other counties in which Atlanta is located. So it sounds like the fix is in on that one, boy. Anyway, Boyce said that Monday is the last day for certification to occur. So then he got Quinn Houston, a spokesperson for the DeKalb County Board of Electors, said the results will be certified during a board meeting on Monday afternoon. So it sounds like people need the weekend to really hash out the crap. Anyway, Georgia law allows a second-place runoff candidate to request a recount if the difference between the two is under 1% of the total vote. And this being a 700 point is well below the 1%. So anyway, she's able to put that in. So voters rolled in late Tuesday evening, offering a nail-biting finish to the contentious race, which led one of the largest cities in the Deep South, and one that echoes Atlanta 2009 mayoral contest when Norwood narrowly lost to Reed and requested a recount, which certified the slim loss. So looks like Norwood took it on the chin a couple times. Anyway.
So this isn't her first recount, huh?
No, it's not. No. But she's determined to beat those niggas.
She said, hey, I'm going to win this time.
She's determined to beat those Negroes.
I demand the recount.
Look here. Look here.
I guess she said, I ain't going out like a sucker. Count that junk again.
All right, acknowledging this history, Norwood said, I've done this before, which is, like we just said. A Norwood victory would mean Atlanta ate gentrification city, where the African American share of the population remains a majority, but has gone down over the years. Would have its first white mayor in more than 40 years. So Norwood is trying to, she's chipping on that iceberg, trying to crack it open to, I guess, to...
trying to break the trend, huh?
Mm-hmm. So Georgia utilizes a majority rule with a runoff voting system, which means that if no candidate secures more than 50% of the vote in the general election, a final race between the two candidates... Wait a minute, let me read that again. A final race between the top two candidates decides the winner. All right. So anyway, Bottoms and Norwood earned 26% and 21%, respectively, of the vote in the general election on November 6th. Meaning they emerged the top two in that particular class. But there is going to be a recount. You have heard the end of this. It's very interesting because I've heard people on the Joe Madison show. There was a black lady that called up saying, well, I voted for the white woman because, it just seems like, and Joe Madison said, would you vote for a race? Well, no, not really. I just did. And she really couldn't answer the question.
Exactly.
She couldn't speak her mind. She couldn't speak her mind. So something's going on there. Something's going on. But apparently Keisha's holding on to the bull for right now. And Mary Norwood is trying to take down those black folks by any cost. So
what's her name? I'm putting her on the kiss it list. Mary
Norwood.
Norwood.
Oh, we don't know her, so maybe she's a good candidate.
Well, I'm putting her on the kiss it list.
Anyway, Keisha Lance Bottoms is the one who's declared the winner. And that's down there in Hot Atlanta. And good luck.
Yeah, I'm putting her on the kiss it list for not accepting defeat gracefully.
And she's been to that rodeo before, so.
Yep, that's why she said she's not.
But there again, like I said, we don't know the logistics of things down there in Atlanta, so we're just reporting the news. We're not judging it.
Well, anybody in the Atlanta area, if you know anything about these candidates, give us a call, 914-803-4306, and tell us what's up with Miss Bottoms and Miss Norwood.
Okay.
All right. Well, I've got one about John Conyers. Let's talk about him. The impact of John Conyers' resignation. Now, John Conyers, this brother is 88 years old. He's the longest-serving active member of Congress, well, up until his resignation, and having represented his district since 1965, the year that the Voting Rights Act was signed. That's how long he's been in the game. Now, earlier this year, that film Detroit, y'all remember that film, the movie Detroit? It depicted his attempts to defuse the riots that happened in Detroit that year in 1967. And then in 1971, Conyers, with 12 other representatives and the delegate from Washington, D.C., founded the Congressional Black Caucus, which, of course, is a legislative bloc that has since then more than tripled in size in terms of black representatives in the Congress. Since 1989, he has annually introduced a bill to create a commission to study the institution of slavery and to recommend appropriate reparations. I did not know that he did this. Every year he's been doing this. Now, before November 20th, when BuzzFeed, who broke the story about his situation, posted a story about numerous allegations of sexual harassment made by staff members and the payment of the secret financial settlement, which, of course, he denied the allegations, there was the primary reference point for Conyers. Now, after the revelations, 2 weeks of chaos, I would say, and then Conyers' hospitalization for what his attorney called stress-related illness, and then his decision to retire, it's difficult to predict how his legacy will be assessed and the extent to which these events will tarnish his career. Now, after all of what I just said that he did, he's going out being remembered for some sexual harassment stupidity. You know, it's like you've been grinding and doing what you could to represent the people since all the way back to 1965.
Before most people were born.
Exactly. And you allow some stupid mess like this to take you down? Anyway, in another misstep, Conyers endorsed his 27-year-old son, John Conyers III, to try to take his seat. But if you didn't know it, his son had been arrested earlier in the year following an argument with his girlfriend, and the charges ended up getting dismissed. Now, while it's not uncommon for people to follow the family, tradition of going into politics, like Rand Paul, he followed his father, I believe, Lisa Murkowski, Donald Payne Jr., and Andrew Cuomo. All of them are children of former office holders. It's a whole other matter to try to bequeath a congressional seat to your son in the middle of an ethics investigation. You just can't do that. So all of these violations ultimately brought to the end a career of the last of the Congressional Black Caucus founding members, John Conyers, and under circumstances that few would have ever seen coming. That's all I got. I don't know what to say. Every time I think of John Conyers, I just have to shake my head. He did so much. He accomplished so much. But I think sometimes this is what happens when you stay in a race too long. I mean, I appreciate everything, but Lord have mercy. The brother's 88.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's the underlining situation of everything. The lack of term limits in some situations is really sad because you kind of figure like it reminds you of the movie with Eddie Murphy, Distinguished Gentleman, where the white couple goes in a booth and they into the poll area and says, "Honey, who we usually vote for?" And that's just that was the whole that dialogue of when people vote. They vote for the name they know. And they've said that people have voted for people who are dead, aren't even living anymore. And then the primaries or different. And it's so interesting to stay that long. I mean, I would have liked another 4 years of Barack.
Yeah.
But it's sad how the term limits come along on some things, but some people are allowed to hang around for 100 years. And 88 years old, damn. Are you kidding me?
He's been at the grinding wheel since 1965.
I just think that 88 years old is too old to be really making decisions about anything. And not to say that you can't have your faculties, and hope at that age I have mine, but I sure don't want to be making any kind of decision to write no laws at that age, because at this point the world has changed so much, and you really, it's just, I wouldn't want a parent to be even being there that I would love with all my heart. I wouldn't want my 88-year-old mother or father to be in there. With all the love I have for them, I said, "No, Mom, no, Dad. No.
Yeah, you might want to just go ahead and retire and enjoy your life.
It's too long, and we also really got to take the keen level to try to not remember people just for something in particular. When we erase legacies of people because of a situation, you got to think about, is it fair? It's not fair, because one thing in life is not all that you stand for in life. It's not all you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I didn't see anything with OJ in the museum.
The National Museum of African American History and Culture.
Right, in Washington, D.C. There was nothing in the sports aspect of O.J. Simpson. And I tell you what, if you've seen some of O.J.'s stats, which I'm going to talk about in my segment, the Heisman Trophy, which is our night, O.J. did a lot. This is the reason why he did commercials and things like that in movies, because he was a hell of a football player. But then we say, but he did that, so the hell with him. Well, that's easy for somebody to say, to sit back or don't play football or don't know nothing about football or don't know anything about anything. You can't judge somebody for one aspect of their life, because everybody in this world has done something they wish they could take back. Some of it may not have been so grand scaled, but you may have made a decision in your life or did something you ain't too thankful for. You may have stuck your head down that damn ostrich hole one time in your life saying, damn. But you're able to pull your head up and nobody saw you. You got away with it, yada, yada, yada. But some people didn't get away with it. If you got away with yours, then be cool. That's why I said now, with all the stuff going on with different things and people, sure, the perverted people out there that are complete animals and lock their asses up and do what you got to do, But people to just be pissed off because of a past relationship that went bad or things like that, or the woman was the bitch from hell from the beginning, then it's I don't give them a pass, because they were, they never really neutralized themselves in being a person eligible for a committed relationship at all. They've always been screwed up in the head, so therefore anything, and it goes on today. Like I said, we haven't sat back and studied it, but there's at least 10 women in Hollywood that are untouchable, that men won't touch them with a 10-foot pole. Won't touch them, because they've been so, they've been dipped in the, And like I said, you can rebuttal. Give us a call, 914-803-4306. You want to say, Poppa DD, you're full of crap. Go ahead,
Well, I just want to wrap that story up by just saying I salute John Conyers for all the good he did, for what he accomplished, and I just really hope that history will record the positive and not focus on the negative that happened at the end.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pass it over to Ketel. You got another one, Ketel, about the gymnastics doctor?
Oh, God, that
that pervert.
It's unfortunate.
Lord have mercy.
Michigan doctor gets 60 years prison sentence for child porn. In Grand Rapids, Michigan, a former elite sports doctor whose sexual assault cases have rocked Michigan State University in the group that trains the U.S. Olympic gymnastics. He was sentenced Thursday to 60 years in federal prison for possessing thousands of images of child pornography. It says it's the first of 3 prison sentences for Larry Nazar, he's going to be put on the kisser list, who will learn his punishment in state court in January after pleading guilty to using his hands to molest girls at his campus office. We have a few that are included in that. Micaiah Maroney, she was a member of the 2012 gold medal Olympic team, and she said he was a monster in a letter to the U.S. District Court judge. Also, Gabby Douglas, I didn't know she was part of that also. And also Allie Raisman, she was part of that also. Nazar said he has an addiction. So I don't know if they're going to give him some help while he's in there or what. I'm not sure. Wow.
Yeah, I think the inmates are going to help him real nice.
Yeah, I agree. So it goes on to say Nazar faces at least 25 years in prison in the other cases also. So there's other cases that are pending. So we have to follow this and just see what happens. Wow.
And that, what's his name, Dr. Nasser?
Right. It says more than 100 women and girls are suing Nasser. Michigan State and the U.S. Gymnastics also defendants in many cases. So that's why he has so many years that he's probably going to go to jail. Beyond that 60.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And the crazy
I'm
part
glad
about
they all
it is,
spoke out.
Yeah, the crazy part about it is Nasser, he said he acknowledged that he dumped computer hard drives and paid $49 to have a laptop memory wiped clean to try to outfox the police. But check this out. The hard drives were found by investigators because a trash truck on the street was late. So, see, God don't make no mistakes.
There you go.
So,
sometimes that stuff ain't wiped clean no way. When the right investigators take that stuff in those computer laboratories, they'll pull that stuff back.
That's
yeah,
true.
you can find it. You can delete something, but it's not always deleted the way you think it is.
There you go. It's up in the atmosphere somewhere. Yep.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's a complete monster.
I'm glad they got him because he did a whole lot of stuff.
And and will have continued to if he wasn't caught.
Exactly.
Right. Especially if he said it was an addiction for him, so he wouldn't stop.
And he clearly had a problem. They got him. They busted, but what they busted him for was for all that child pornography. They didn't even bust him on the abuse that he put the female gymnast through. They got him on child pornography, right?
Correct.
See?
But they have other cases pending, so they, that just opened Pandora's box. So.
Okay.
So he's going to go to jail for longer than 60 years. We'll see. He'll never see the light of day.
Well, that's good. All right. Well, let me keep it moving. Let's talk about how ethical are congressional ethics. Now, this was, I thought this was interesting. I wanted to share this with everybody. In 2009, there was an ethics committee investigation, and all 7 of the people investigated were black folks that were part of the Congressional Black Caucus. Imagine that. Out of all the unethical crap that goes on in Congress, everybody who got investigated in 2009, all 7 were black people. The 8th one, there would have been an 8th, but that was Jesse Jackson Jr. out of Illinois. That was dropped when the Justice Department said, no, we're going to investigate that one. So Congress dropped their investigation and let the Justice Department handle that. Then the following year, Charlie Rangel, who's also a Congressional Black Caucus member and founder, and the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee. Now that's the big guns. House Ways and Means controls the money. Charlie Rangel was the chairperson of the House Ways and Means Committee. He was found guilty of ethics charges relating to the failure to report income on a property he had in the Dominican Republic, and improper fundraising and wrongful use of rent-subsidized apartments in a building where he lived. But he still kept his seat. They didn't boot him out. And then when he was forced to relinquish his chairmanship of the House Ways and Means Committee, many people said, was it because you had a black president coming in, and there were those who were nervous about a black man in charge of the Ways and Means Committee, a black man in the presidency? Oh, we can't have that. So you have those who said, was that the problem, or was it just coincidence? I don't know. That's just the way it all fell out. Now, in 2012, the National Journal reported that there was a third of the sitting black lawmakers who had been named in ethics investigations. 1/3 of all the black congressional people named in investigations for ethics? How ethical are these congressional ethics? This is starting to be crazy. On CNN, a woman named Angela Rye, who previously served as the executive director of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, denounced the hypocrisy in the Democratic Party for going after John Conyers' resignation more aggressively than they did for other officials accused of various levels of misbehavior. The paper Politico reported that the caucus chairperson, Cedric Richmond from Louisiana, agreed and said, "I think the chorus of people that are calling for John Conyers to resign is noticeably larger than everybody else." Why were folk going after the black folks so hard? But then when other people that were not black did things that were unethical, they didn't seem to go after them as hard. Now, when Nancy Pelosi, who's the minority leader, called on John Conyers to resign last Thursday, multiple aides and former Congressional Black Caucus employees questioned in off-the-record conversations, why did she do that before the House Judiciary Committee completed its investigation? They were saying, look, Nancy, if you feel that way, that's cool, but why don't you wait until the committee does their investigation and see what's what? But she went and jumped the gun, made her announcement saying, John, you need to resign, do the right thing, do the right thing. The investigation hadn't even been completed. So it does make you wonder, like, are y'all just going after
let me
the
say
black
this
folks?
here.
What's up?
Let me say this from a black man's point of view. I just think that a lot of things that happen out there, we get wowed by stuff so easy, but we also come to our conclusion so simplified when the undercut of the situation is much more deeper than you would ever see on the surface. Most of the things happening in this world is on a distractor base. It's almost like blowing up something on one side of town while you rob something on the other side of town.
So you saying watch my left hand
I'm
while
not
my
saying,
right hand
I'm not
is
saying
doing
anything.
else?
I'm not, because see, just how you came out right there, that's the response we're always given as black people. Wow.
No, you were saying distractor.
All right, yeah, but let me make my point.
Go ahead.
Let me make my point. All I'm saying, the fact that we have to stop being so distracted with the distractions, and we have to understand who tends to gain the most of my trip up or my intentional trip up. What's going to happen once I get tripped up? Who's going to get my chair? Or how did the deck get stacked after I'm gone? See, like we said before, Kanye was 88 years old, okay? Mm-hmm. So for all intents and purposes, his faculties was probably a little off. Okay? So it didn't have to all be ethics. It could have been the fact that he was just like talking a bunch of crazy stuff or just not even being with the game anymore. Or people couldn't get a response out of him or whatever. God bless him. You know what I mean? But sometimes we need to know when to leave. You know? Right. And that's with anything else, even on our job today. We got people that been there 40 years, way past the retirement age, but they come in every day. Oh, yeah, there's Billy. Yeah, Billy, he could retire 5 years ago. But you know he didn't know what something to do. Yabba. You know, but damn, Billy is holding up the train. The train in life is the recycle aspect. Just like you expect your kids to get the hell out of the house at 18 years old. You know what I mean? It don't stop in the job market. If you 40 years old and there's a joker 65 years old sitting next to you on the job, it's time for him to go so your 40-year-old ass can make a move. You know what I mean? Because it's like musical chairs. You played musical chairs in your life, right?
Once or twice.
Yeah, well, musical chairs. Life is musical chairs. You know, when the music stops, boom. If you ain't got an empty seat, boom, you out. And when people buck the system like that, and the system now is bucked back from people that aren't leaving or whatever particular reason. And that whole thing of knocking people out, sometimes they trip up, like you said, black people as a distraction because they know that 20 white folks over here done did some wild stuff.
That's
so
what I was
saying. That's
what I was saying. It's a trick. Watch my left hand so you won't see what my right hand is doing.
Exactly. But what I'm saying on that situation is that until the atmosphere even comes in there, until they even get a chance for the wind to blow in that direction over there, Because they're that paranoid. They want to clip this situation over here and then come strong. That's why I said earlier, I wasn't downplaying at all any of this stuff that's going on right now. But I think that the people right now that are speaking with strong convictions, watch how you say what you say. Because you never know. If you didn't live a pure life, pure as a driven snow, and you done said stuff, there's video out here and everything else that would flash back to you once something go down with you, and it's going to hit on you. You know, let he without sin cast the first stone. That is the biblical aspect of life. Whenever you cast judgment, always remember, is my ass clean? Did I wipe my ass really clean when I'm talking about somebody that didn't wipe their ass at all? So, I mean, I'm just putting it out there. Anyway, let's move on. This gentleman here, LeVar Ball. Put him on a kissing list. This man.
Yeah.
LeVar Ball is the father of the gentleman that, for one son plays for the Lakers, and the other one was caught stealing over in China.
China.
Yeah, and then he went back, and the UCLA suspended the boy for a while, and the father got pissed off at that, saying, "Why you suspending my son?" And now he eventually took his son out of UCLA. Now UCLA is saying, what the hell? We're gonna bring him back, blah blah blah. Now you take your son out of UCLA, who's on the just recent stealing in China. UCLA was still willing to give him the opportunity because he's a good ball player, this and that. But then the father stats him out of school. Now he tried to apply for some stuff overseas to do some overseas basketball playing because they pay over there, and overseas rejected him, saying we don't want no parts of you, Mr. Ball, or your children, you know. So it's just, you know, it's a mess now, you know.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. When he figured, hey, I'm gonna just go overseas. And
overseas is saying, hell, you just got done stealing in China. What the hell make you think we want your son in France? Are you tripping? Anyway, and he also goes to his son's games in L.A. at the Lakers, and he's constantly talking to the media about his son over there. And I mean, LeVar Ball is a complete mess. And he got into a thing with Trump where he said, Trump, you didn't do nothing to get my son. My son got out on his own, and him and Trump got into it about some stuff. And oh my God, LeVar Ball is off the chain. I mean, here's a man who's, you know, his sons play, you know, mediocre at best basketball, and he's trying to beat. He's like 9 times the Williams sisters' father. You know how he used to be when they were young, but he's 9 times that. So it's just a mess. He's just a complete mess. And I mean, stay tuned because that LeVar Ball is tripping out of his mind.
I think he has oversold the goods.
Well, he built this. Well, what he did when they were young, he built this big old thing in the yard where it's like a court and put a lid over top it where the kids play basketball like all day long. You know, they just brainwash on this and that. And he's really controlling them like puppets. So all I can say is just stay tuned for LeVar Ball and his 2 sons. One is playing for the Lakers, and the other one is just tripping right now with nothing to do because Dad pulled him out of school, and he's just tripping. So we'll see what happens with that.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And we're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back with What's Poppin' with Poppa DD. You're listening to a Pajama Party show on Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, this is Ketel with the yellow top. I'm waiting to hear from you tonight. I'm at the Pajama Party Live. So you can reach us at 914-803-4306, or you can check us out on apajamaparty.com. I've got my opinions, but I want to hear yours. Poppa DD and Redwine are trying to beat me down, so I need you to call back and back me up. I know you're out there. I can hear you breathing. So call me now, 914-803-4306. I'm right here on WPJP, Blog Talk Radio, waiting to hear from you. Here they come. I gotta go.
All right, welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of your hosts, Poppa DD. I'm here with Ketel.
Hello.
Hey, Ketel, you still got your referee shirt on, or you?
Yes. No, I'm cool. No, I'm just taking it all in. Mm.
And red wine.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir.
Okay.
I'm feeling a little better. Had to chew on some ice, cool down.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll probably get fired up in another minute or two. But anyway, we're going to move on with Poppa DD and what's popping. So what's popping with you tonight, Poppa DD?
Well, you know, we have such a racial turnover tonight that is unbelievable.
Well, it is
and like
what
I said,
it is.
I think when things happen in life, just kind of just sit back and be cool and observe. You know, don't be so fast to react, because I think that when people do adverse things to black people, the first thing they want to do is see how we react. They get off on that. They get off on that when we just say, oh, my God, I can't believe they did that. And then we don't do nothing, they get away with doing that. So if you're not going to do anything, why are you even reacting is the bottom line, you know? I mean, I know it sounds cold, but if you ain't going to do nothing, then why are you, like, just spreading gossip about it? Can you believe they did this? Can you believe they did that? Can you believe they did that? You know, black folks can just throw that gossip out there all day long, all over the world, you know, internationally, but nobody does anything. So people do what they do, you know? Just like, and I think that the Congressman, Frank, said the number one thing today. He said that I'm leaving Congress, but I cannot believe that we have a president that said verbally about grabbing vaginas, and we have another gentleman in Alabama who was messing with, you know, minors, and he's up for a Senate job. So what the hell? You know what I mean? How do you really justify that? That's really deep. How you got two adverse situations going on, existing, one at the top as president, and you're kicking somebody else out. What? Anyway, that is a revolving door, big time. What I want to talk about tonight, though, is the Heisman Trophy presentation tomorrow. Now, the Heisman Trophy is one of the most prestige honors you can get as a college football player, okay? Some of your Heisman Trophy winners is Marcus Allen, O.J. Simpson. The list goes on and on, on and on and on and on and on. Cam Newton. It's big. It's big. Anyway.
Redwine.
Yeah, they say when you do the Heisman Trophy pose where you lift your one leg up and push your arm out, that's a Heisman Trophy. Anyway, here's the deal, though. It seems to me that the writers that vote for the Heisman Trophy winner, it seems like they're kind of tired of seeing black people win every year. Okay? Because if you look at where they do the Heisman Trophy, there's pictures of everybody that won through the years. You know, Tony Dorsett and, you know, Emmitt Smith, and there's just people, Deion Sanders. I mean, you know, but that wall of all the Heisman Trophy winners is so black, it's not funny. And I think that, what was that thing you called before? Gentrification?
Gentrification?
Yeah. I think that went on. That situation is trying to go down now. And admittedly so, some white sports writers who has a vote admitted the fact that they're going to vote for this one gentleman. This guy's name is Baker Mayfield. Remember that name, Baker Mayfield. And listen out Sunday morning to see whether or not he's the winner. So you got Baker Mayfield going up against Lamar Jackson, who's black, and also Bryce Love, who's black. The white boy, Baker Mayfield, he's a very good quarterback, energetic, fast. He got a arm like a bullet. But the problem with him is that he's a hothead. Okay? This guy on a field, when he's pissed off when he's a visiting team, he's been seen a couple of times grabbing his crotch, throwing up his middle finger at the stands, okay? At night, he gets drunk. They have video of police chasing him and tackling him, where he's done all kind of adverse stuff. He's a wild child. He's off the chain. He has no boundaries. He's a wild renegade cowboy. And he exudes all kinds of. In fact, they were voting whether the fact if he lost tomorrow night, is he going to go off in one of his rants like he normally does. But the writers are saying, "Oh, I'm voting for him, no matter what. I don't care, I'm voting for him," because most of these Caucasian writers want to see some white faces in the Heisman Trophy Hall of Fame. It's amazing. It's amazing. And like I said, I guess being pro-white is it's not a bad thing. If you're pro-black, you're pro-black. If you're pro-white, you're pro-white. But this is going down right now for real because these writers are going to vote this boy in no matter what because they're looking up at the photos of all these different winners of the Heisman Trophy, and they feel like there ain't enough white boys in there. And as we know, white folks constantly are in search of the great white hope. And they're going to get it tomorrow. And remember, his name is Baker Mayfield. He's a mess, okay? He's a mess. Baker Mayfield. He's a mess off the field. And he even shows his ass on the field by throwing his fingers up and grabbing his crotch when he's mad, when somebody boos him, whatever. But those white voters who are voting for him for the Heisman Trophy said, we're going to vote for him no matter what. So anyway, stay tuned for that one. Anyway.
They must be desperate
they
to get somebody in there.
Well, college sports, like pro sports, is 85% black. And when it comes to awards and accolades, you have mostly white writers, white sports writers who have the opportunity to vote. So, and like I said, deep down inside, there's nothing wrong with being pro-white and there's nothing wrong with being pro-black. Don't be racist, but it's okay to be pro-white or be pro-black. So, Anyway, this is what's happening with the Heisman Trophy. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, ESPN, presentation of the Heisman Trophy Award.
Okay. Well, we're going to slide right into the weird news, and since you got the mic, Poppa DD,
you know what? Y'all ain't paying me enough to keep on.
Yeah, whatever.
I'll be honest with you.
You're up first. Go ahead.
I can't take a break.
You don't need a break.
What am I, the quarterback?
Earn your dollar.
What am I, LeBron James?
Hurry up.
Anyway, what's this here? What's this tape handing me? Fat squirrel steals pricey goods? Maplewood, New Jersey. I know where that is.
Oh, really?
The Associated Press reported that an obese squirrel was caught on video stealing gourmet chocolate and lip balm that a family left outside of a holiday treat for delivery people.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so they left gourmet chocolate and lip balm. Now, meaning what? Cookies or something?
I guess chocolate and lip balm. You mean like lip gloss or lip? I
guess there must be two separate things because there's an N in between it.
Okay.
So obviously the family left some treats out there for delivery people. They're like Redwine. People deliver stuff there every day. Anyway, yeah, she's laughing. Michelle Boroff of Maplewood, New Jersey, said on her blog she provides candy, snacks, tissues, hand warmers, and other goodies for her on her doorstep every year. Okay, she never had any issues before, but this year her basket was raided within hours after being set outside of her home. Okay, the thief seemed to be targeting the pricey stuff, including about 25 squares of what's that called? Ghirardelli chocolate.
Kind of expensive chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay.
The family set up a surveillance camera to see what was going on and spotted the overweight varmint standing on a step stool.
Wait a minute. You saying it was a fat squirrel stealing chocolate?
Squirrel digging into the stash Tuesday.
Oh my!
I mean, this squirrel is so obese. Okay, he was a big jolly load of crap. All right. He must weigh at least 60 pounds. He must be. They say he must have been putting away. They say he must have been putting this stuff away for decades of winters.
Wow.
Her husband tried to chase the squirrel to see where he was hauling all the treats, but he made a clean getaway. All right. She also
fat, but he's fast.
Mhm. She also said she stumbled upon the thieving rodent in the act Wednesday and recorded it, taking some chocolate and some of the nice lip balm that she left for the UPS people and Federal Express people, and they were just amazed that they thought it was maybe people coming up there taking things or what have you, but to come to find out it was a big fat overweight obese squirrel.
So the squirrel was taking the lip balm. He didn't want to have fat lips.
Who knows? Maybe it was easy to grab, but he was taking the lip balm and little chocolate balls, a little chocolate thing.
Okay.
I guess once he ate one of those chocolates, he said, "Damn, I'm going back for more." For more.
He said, "This crap is good.
This is good."
And get some some chapstick too. Woo!
Who knows what he's
Okay, well, I got one about this Chinese zoo. A zoo in southern China has been heavily criticized after visitors found that their penguin exhibit was filled with inflatable penguins. Now, they advertised that they were going to have penguins from the Arctic and all this, and this is in China now. Mm-hmm. So people paid money to come and see, and they found inflated penguins sitting in a little area, and they're looking at them like, are you serious? These are like balloons. I didn't pay money to see penguin balloons. Mm. So they also had turtles in there, geese and roosters and stuff that you see running around in China all the time. But they advertised we have exotic animals and things of this nature. And they were charging people $2.25 to come in and see this exotic animal display. So, of course, people were not happy. The zoo has since been closed with an unnamed owner saying that the exhibit had been set up by a contractor. They're going to blame it on the contractor.
So all the exhibit, everything was blown up.
Yeah, they said the
contractor
contractor
did that. They say you get what you pay for.
There it is. They said the contractor did it.
But he only paid $2. So.
$2.25.
You get what you pay for.
There it is. What you got, Ketel?
Oh boy, you guys are gonna laugh at this one. A malfunctioning toilet caused Delta flight to make emergency landing halfway through the flight to Seattle.
Oh no!
When you really gotta go, the plane's gotta land. The Delta Airlines flight from Kennedy Airport had to make an emergency pit stop in Montana so passengers could take a much-needed bathroom break, officials said. Malfunctioning bathrooms on the Boeing 757 caused a real emergency, forcing the plane to land at Billings Logan International Airport, more than halfway through the 6-hour flight to Seattle. All toilets were full and passengers needed to go, really go bad.
Wow.
Once they landed, relief was still nowhere in sight because of the unscheduled stop. No gates were available for the plane, which had to be taken to a cargo area to unload several passengers that needed to find a lavatory very urgently. Ground crews had to bring a rolling stairway to the plane so passengers could rush to the nearest restroom and find relief of built-up pressure. Passengers were allowed to get back on the plane and continue on their way once the toilets were fixed and the plane was refueled. Oh, boy.
What were they serving on that flight that had everybody needing to go that bad?
I'm not sure, but the commodes weren't working on the plane.
Wow.
So that was the main problem. You know, well, you got to go, but that was too much. Whew.
Yeah, somebody should have checked that before that plane took off.
Yeah.
They should have known that.
Or they should have put the plane out of commission. You know, they should have never used the airplane, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Aren't they supposed to check all that stuff before the plane takes off?
You would think, yeah. Their crews, yeah. They check all that. Somebody wasn't doing their job.
Anyway,
mm-hmm.
They're crazy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm going to keep it rolling because I'm fired up. I want to get this in. I'm going on into, let me make sure I didn't jump the gun. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm going into I'm just saying. Tonight, my topic is, I'm just saying, why you mad? Fix your face. That's my topic. Why you mad? Fix your face. Representative John Lewis, who we revere as a civil rights icon, and Representative Benny Thompson said yesterday that they would not attend the opening of the long-awaited Civil Rights Museum in Mississippi. And why? Because your boy, Trump, number 45, said he was going. And they said, we see this as an insult. Cut and dry, period, point blank. It's not hard to understand. They said what they meant, and they meant what they said. So why are the Republicans acting like they all been out of shape? Especially Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Girl, bye. Why you mad? Fix your face. I'm just saying.
Your eyebrows.
And here's the cherry on top. Some Democratic lawmakers are going to join the civil rights veterans, religious leaders, and others in the boycott of Saturday's opening of the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum in Jackson. And I'm loving it. I'm glad that they're standing together to let Trump and his cronies know how displeased they are that he dares to show his face at a museum to celebrate civil rights when he goes out of his way to violate civil rights. Lewis and Thompson said that Trump's attendance and his hurtful policies are an insult to the people portrayed in the Civil Rights Museum. The struggles represented in this museum exemplify the truth of what really happened in Mississippi. Trump's disparaging comments about women, the disabled, immigrants, and the National Football League players disrespect the efforts of Fannie Lou Hamer, Aaron Henry, Medgar Evans, Robert Clark, James Chaney, Andrew Goodman, Michael Schwimmer, and countless others who have given their all for Mississippi to be a better place. And I say amen to that. The White House called it unfortunate that these two lawmakers are not going to attend the opening. Now let me talk about Sarah Sanders. Sarah Sanders tweeted, "We think it's unfortunate that these members of Congress wouldn't join the president in honoring the incredible sacrifice civil rights leaders made to right the injustices in our history. The president hopes others will join him in recognizing that the movement was about removing barriers and unifying Americans of all backgrounds." Whatever. They're upset that black folks stood up to them and said, no, we're not getting on board with this crap. Not this time. So all these people, they got their boxers and panties all twisted up in a bunch over it. I'm just asking, why are you mad? Fix your face. Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant, naturally a Republican, invited Trump to come to the opening, saying that the state should be glad that the president is coming. Of course he'd say that. It's freaking Mississippi. What else would he say? Since this White House administration, well, let me rephrase that. Since when has this White House administration been serious about civil rights? The rights of women, the rights of immigrants, or the rights of anyone that's not a millionaire? I'm just saying they need to stop faking and be honest about what they're really doing. What they want is for black people to line up, smile and applaud at this museum opening and acknowledge how this effort shows the goodness of good old white Southerners. John Lewis, Benny Thompson, and others didn't fall for it, and I salute them for staying woke enough to see through the bullcrap. The white folks are angry, and they thought everybody was going to line up and behave, but not this time. Nobody cares how mad they are. Why are you mad? Fix your face. I'm just saying, you go ahead and go through the motions and pretend to be decent. I'm going to pass on that. This grand opening and all that, I'm going to stand up with my woke brothers and sisters. This is Redwine, and I'm just saying, why are you mad? Fix your face.
That's pretty deep.
It is what it is.
And you know, the flip side of that, too, while we're on that, is the fact that it's so sad that now the negative side on black people's side is that why does the congressman still got to stand up for his own situation? And this man was standing up 50 years ago, 60 years, 50 years.
Exactly.
Now, where's all the, and I put them on a kisser list, the Black Caucus, okay?
Really?
Let me tell you something. And this is just my beef. The Black Caucus to me is just a bunch of bougie crap. Okay, them people get together and come to D.C. and do their little thing at the convention center or whatever. And I had the opportunity to go to one a few years back. I don't know if it changed or whatever, but the time I went there, I walked around the place, and being I wasn't a quote-unquote member of this or member of that, and I watched some of the most bougie-ass black folks I've ever seen in my life. And I say bougie not because of money, not because of style, not because of flavor, but, my mother treated me like I was an only child. I'm one of 9 children, okay? So I've seen...
more of you?
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
And I've seen the goodness of life. I mean, I've had a wonderful life in a wonderful neighborhood and was raised around very wholesome, manly people. But that Black Caucus thing was so bougie crap. I mean, I saw people that were so full of, oh, man, I'm not even going to say it. It was just a mess. And I'm sure they ain't got no better. Everybody was in there rolling like they was just a cat's meow and a dog's bow wow, as they say. Just acting like they was just the Half of them wasn't even speaking, wasn't even showing no kind of camaraderie. And at the time I'm walking there, I think I was by myself. I'm a single man. Half of them chicks I didn't want to even get with because they had so many layers of bullshit connected to their ass. I was like, are you kidding me? I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. With all the phony crap you was wearing, the phony crap you was saying, the artificial stuff you was doing, it was a mess. And like I said, it takes a civil rights leader himself and another congressman to get together and cause the records that he did. Where's the people? Where's the Black Caucus to get behind the black man to stand up for what's right? You can't find them because they all went back to their respective cribs with their Mercedes-Benz and doing their thing. And, you drive what you want to drive. I'm not going to talk about the car. But it's just, like I said, and I'm going to get off the soapbox on that. It's just that it's so sad that a 75-year-old man still got to stand up for his own cause.
Okay, now.
It's a damn shame.
All right. Well, since you got the mic now.
Anyway, but yeah, let me get this here. And I'm going to make this real quick because we're short on time, So, but... what's happening right now is the chickens are sure enough coming home to roost. I saw a special on TV today that caught my attention concerning the whole, what's that word again? The gentrification? Gentrification. Okay, now what's happening with these different areas where people have, let's just say white folks, where white folks did their best to nullify these neighborhoods and make these situations where people can come in and run and win and use a independent tag or whatever tag they're going to use to win an election based on being in the middle of black folks. This is happening in Atlanta recently, okay? You use a tag of independence. Nobody wants to carry that Republican tag because, Trump done tarnished the hell out of that. So they carry the tag of independence. But what's happening today is the fact that all these neighborhoods that have been gentrified, now most of the people in these neighborhoods are so strung out on this opiates and heroin that they are breaking their neck today to set up different tents, camps, halfway houses, all kinds of stuff in these suburban areas and these areas of Ohio, all these areas that they have definitely cut out black folks to win any kind of election. But the drawback of God not knocking ugly and trouble don't last always is that the white folks in these neighborhoods are so strung out on drugs that they're trying to get them better so they ass can vote. It is unbelievable. They actually have tents set up in parks where you can go in there and actually do your hair on, and they will watch you when you get done shooting up and let you go into what's called like a recovery room for when you have an operation or you're coming down from the anesthesia, and make sure that you get the stuff you need so you can get right and be right. And all this is in conjunction of the population they have that was going to guaranteedly put their people in office. 30% of that population is drugged up right now, and they're calling it an epidemic. But when black folks was freaked out on that crack, nobody gave a damn. They let us continue to walk around butt naked, sucking Johnsons on the corner, stealing TVs, stealing your mama's TV, your mama's toaster, and everything we did as a crackhead. But nobody gave a damn. We were like wild animals. We were like a monkey scratching his ass and throwing his shit in people's face. That's how bad crack had people. But now that white folks are strung out on this heroin and this opiate, they got tents set up. Oh, come here. You can come here and actually shoot up your heroin, and we'll watch you as you come down off it. And once you come down, we'll give you another sedative, and you can walk back into the sunset. Just so when voting day comes along, your ass will be sober enough to put our people in. Damn. Damn, damn, damn. Anyway, that's Living for the City.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yeah, it's real deep.
I didn't know they were doing all that.
Oh, you just don't know. They got millions coming in for that. Jersey's doing it. Chris Christie, the governor, he got a situation set up in the Trenton area where you can go in a tent. And, please, I don't even want to talk about it.
That is some madness.
It's a mess, yes, indeed. They did the whole cutting up the zoning, and all of a sudden, half this zone is strung out on heroin. God don't like ugly.
Not at all.
Ketel, how you doing out there?
I can't complain. How about you?
Everything is cool. Go do your thing. I didn't mean to take your time.
All
you
right.
can go ahead and reclaim your time.
Yes, time to reclaim your time.
All right.
Reclaim your time.
All right.
All right. Let's head out to the West Coast. What's happening in Hollywood this week?
We got quite a bit going on. Some surprises and not some surprises. I'm going to talk about your boy, Papa, Steve Harvey.
Oh, yeah, my
Steve
boy.
Harvey sued for alleged fraud involving charity. This guy, he's blaming Oprah, Tyler Perry, and Steve for his shortcomings. So the story is, Steve Harvey is being sued by a guy, not saying no names, who claims he was hired for the TV mogul to raise $20 million for the Steve and Marjorie Foundation, as well as other ventures and to get royalties and everything for him. So the guy's name is Vincent DeMock, claims he struck a deal with Harvey in April to raise $20 million. In return, he says he was promised 12.5% of everything he bought in. So Steve was supposed to give him a percentage, right? So DeMock says in the lawsuit he had access to high-level executives, A-list entertainers, and political figures, including a former president. And he got pledges for $20 million. So DeMock delivered on the first million, but Harvey refused to pay him his commission. DeMock claims Harvey never intended to pay him and then goes on to make various allegations. So DeMock says he introduced Harvey to an investor in May, and during their meeting, he allegedly, this large woman blamed Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry for giving him bad financial advice, and also blamed Barack Obama for Harvey's disastrous meeting with Donald Trump.
Oh, my God.
Are you serious?
That's crazy.
He goes on to say, he says Harvey and his foundation were in bad financial shape because of a series of PR gaffles, including mocking Asian men and meeting with Trump. What? So they claim they reached out to Harvey's agent, Todd Frank, but he said it sounds like it's fake. Steve is the most loyal guy in the world. I've never been stiffed on a commission from Steve Harvey in 21 years. That's what his agent is saying, Todd Frank. So I don't know. But we're gonna keep up with that story, right, Papa?
Yeah, we are, because you know me.
I know you're Steve Harvey. Well, we're gonna talk about another. Huh?
Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We're going to talk about another Steven. Steven Tyler. He launches a refuge for broken and battered Atlanta girls. Rocker Steven Tyler has launched a safe haven for abused and troubled girls in Atlanta, Georgia. The Aerosmith star attended the ribbon-cutting ceremony at James' house. That's what he's calling it. The venture is one of his proudest achievements. He goes on to say it takes young girls in, and it's got a staff, it's got some therapists, and it's got people for them to talk to. When girls come in and they're broken and battered, it's a place for them to go. It's called Janie's House, which can offer refuge and therapy for 30 girls at a time. It's the first safe haven launched through Stephen Janie's Fund, and he's convinced it will be a huge success. He said he's going through a 12-step program himself, and it's about passing it on. It's about learning what's going wrong and maybe making it right, for someone else. So.
Yeah, I love Stephen Thomas.
Good for him. Good for him. That's in Atlanta. So it sounds like he's going to make it. He's going to open up more places also. You guys into Harry Potter or J.K. Rowling? You familiar with her?
Yeah.
Redwine is.
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. She did the Harry Potter series. She's the author of Harry Potter. Well, she has a new movie coming out, and Johnny Depp is in it.
Oh,
but
Lord.
There were some people that did not want him in the casting. She writes on her Twitter page. Harry Potter fans had legitimate questions and concerns about our choice to continue with Johnny Depp in the role. As David Yates, longtime Potter director, has already said, we naturally considered the possibility of recasting. He said, I understand why some have been confused and angry about why it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
They felt as if he was the best person for the job and that his personal life has nothing to do with him being on the screen. So you haters out there?
Personal life is a wreck.
Ever since Edward Scissorhands, he lost his mind.
Right, but we're going to see how far he goes.
Okay.
Also, Tracy Ellen Ross. This is very interesting. She goes on to say, for all the men worried about hugging women in proper holiday party conduct following the sexual misconduct allegations, she has something for them. She has a handy guide called the Handsy Man. So she recited this on the Jimmy Kimmel's live show the other night because she hosted it the other night. And it goes on to say, you may not compliment my butt. You may not call me hoe or slut. And even if you're stoned or drunk, do not expose me to your trunk. And if I am your employee, don't rest your hand upon my knee. No, I won't sit on your lap. I shouldn't have to say this crap. All right, man.
All right.
Like he's going to come out with a guide or a book for, for situations like this, I guess. It's called the Handsy Man.
Well, if she put that to music, that would sell.
I know that's right. She probably will.
Yeah.
And one last note. Anybody a Bonnie and Clyde fan or used to watch the Bonnie and Clyde movies?
No, I've seen it before.
Okay. I didn't realize that they were this young when they were killed. Well, their full name was Bonnie Parker and Clyde Chestnut Barrow. They were 24 and 23 years old.
Wow.
I didn't know that either. Their shopping spree, their spree of killings and stuff started in Dallas. I'm sorry, Joplin, Missouri. All the way from Joplin, Missouri, and they got caught in Louisiana. And they have this photo, a black and white photo.
Number up there, I didn't know.
I'm sorry?
No,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I know what you're saying.
Oh, okay. I said they have a black and white photo of them being displayed, and this is supposed to have been the last, kiss they had before they got killed. I'm like, okay, what kind of art is this? I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. So this came from her uncle. Her uncle gave it up. So it was some kind of exhibit or something somebody has in Louisiana. I was like, okay. Yeah, Bonnie and Clyde fans. Hey, more
Okay.
power to you. Yeah,
I didn't know they were that young.
Yeah.
I didn't either. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Ketel.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's see. Well, while you got the mic, do you have the cocktail of the week? Or are we going to keep it moving and move on to the kiss it list? What you want to do? Ketel?
Hello.
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 Oh, hello. I'm sorry. It's called the Lock and Loaded. I think you might like this one, Papa. It's called Lock and Loaded. It has it's a bourbon base. And grapefruit juice. 2 ounces of your favorite bourbon, half an ounce of lemon juice, and 3 ounces of grapefruit soda. Combine your favorite bourbon and lemon juice in a mixing glass and shake until well chilled. Fill a rock glass with ice, strain cocktail into glass, and top with grapefruit soda. Garnish with a fresh slice of grapefruit.
Soda?
Yep, grapefruit soda. Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Locked and loaded. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll post it up on the website over the weekend. So if you want to get that recipe, check out apajamaparty.com. Click on Cocktail of the Week, and we will have that information for you.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to talk about the kiss it list. I'm sorry, what, Ketel?
I forgot to mention the top folks that, as far as made money, top entertainers that made money in 2017, the highest paid musicians. I'm sorry, my bad. Guess who topped the top? Just guess.
Probably
Taylor Swift.
No, probably that boy with the curly hair. What's his name?
Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars, probably.
He said Bruno. I said Taylor Swift.
P. Diddy, 130 mil, baby.
P. Diddy?
Yep, because he did his tour, his comeback tour.
Oh, okay.
Yep. He had this Bad Boy Family Reunion tour. That's what it was. And, he has the Ciroc brand and his cologne and clothing line. So P. Diddy topped 130 mil, Beyonce 105 mil, Drake 94 million. Really?
Yeah, Drake's doing it.
Check this out. The Gomez girl, she should have stayed with The Weeknd. He made $92 million last year.
Woo!
Coldplay, Guns N' Roses, they still around?
Yeah. They acting right now.
Justin Bieber, Bruce Springsteen, Adele, and Metallica. Top to 10. I was like, okay. All right.
Wow.
Metallica's still doing their thing, huh?
Well, if The Weeknd is single, I'm going to have to check him out. I'm just saying.
I know, that's right. I'm like, okay. Look, The Weeknd's making more than Justin Bieber. Girlfriend should have stayed with The Weeknd.
Right. Well, let's hit the kiss it list. Poppa DD, tell us about the kiss it list.
It's kiss it list is everybody who shot themselves in the foot, showed their ass, whatever. We got Roy Moore, who's running for that Alabama seat. Boy, what are you going to do?
Yeah, that's a whole hot mess.
He made a slavery remark, which is crazy. Trent Frank soliciting women in his office to be a surrogate. That's just so he want to sleep with them and then say it didn't work, let's try it again. Didn't work, let's try it again. Anyway, Mary Norwood, she's the white woman who ran for mayor. She got beat again.
In Atlanta.
She has them ran for mayor in Atlanta. We got Dr. Nasser, the one that messed with all those Olympic women. He's a beast and a bear, and he's horrible. Got LeVar Bell, whose son is in the NBA. He's tripping out. His other son's a thief. Anyway, Baker Mayfield, the white boy, they're going to win a Heisman tomorrow night. He's tripping his ass off, but he's going to win because they want some great white hope in the place. And Sarah Sanders need to fix her eyebrows. They're always crooked. She's a spokesperson for Donald Trump. And the Congressional Black Caucus. Get off your ass and help that old brother get righteousness. This is for you guys.
And also, we got, who else? Trump. We didn't get him. He's always on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, Ketel, you got anybody?
Larry Nassar and Trent Frank.
Okay, we got it.
All right.
Here's something just for everybody on the Kiss It list.
my entire ass.
Kiss my Irish ass! You better kiss my Irish ass! This world can kiss my ass. Kiss my ass.
You can just kiss my ass. Baby, you can just kiss my ass. Oh.
You can't kiss my country ass. I said if you got a problem with any of that, you can kiss my natural born redneck to the bone, ever-loving country ass. That's right.
Welcome back to Pajama Party. I'm one of those Poppa DD here with Ketel.
Hello.
Redwine. Yo. And Redwine. My final word, if I could do mine first, I just want to give homage to my mother and father and hope that they both are in good spirits and good health tonight. God bless you both, Mom and Dad.
And I just want to say that the California area that's dealing with the fires, I'm praying for rain for you all. So everybody that knows the word of prayer, pray for rain for California.
Hard rain.
Over to you, Ketel.
Storms.
My last word is the folks on the hill, y'all need to stop doing what y'all doing and just get y'all lives together. Get self together first. That's it. That's all I got to say.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Join us next Friday night. We'll be live, apajamaparty.com. You can check out our website. And special shout out to DC Homegrown.
Yeah.
All right.
Keeping the
Keep
lights
on.
on. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And it's December. Let's give homage to Dr. Worsley. How about that?
All right, then.
Oh, yeah.
I know that's right.
Early December every
that.
year. Oh, please.
Yep.
It's in my memory as well as yours.
All right.
For sure.
Well, it's been real. And we'll see you next Friday night. Join us then. We're out. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Initiating shutdown sequence.
Is it all over, Rock?
I guess so. I bid you farewell, arrivederci, sayonara, and all that sort of cheers.
Well, I say when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Well, good night.
Yabiko. Sana.
I regret to announce this is the end. I'm going now.
Good night, and good luck.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
Now give me a kiss and say good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you for attending our show, and good night.
Pajama Party, growing sexy, throwing a party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed. Pajama Party, growing sexy, throwing a party. Pajama Party Crew, keep it real for you. No clothes allowed.